and I was showing you our little visitor friends here. I'm going to scooch it down a little bit so you can see. And we have some caterpillars in here, and they're so tiny. And some of them are already starting to climb up. We have 5 in here, cinco. And they're kind of wiggling around, and they're going to eat as much as they can of this stuff on the bottom. And they're going to get really big and really fat, and they're going to climb up the side and attach themselves to the lid of this container. And they grow really fast. They're eating so much and they grow really fast. So next time we see them in a few days, I am guessing they'll look very, very different. So they're only about, I'd say this big by now. So we're going to keep an eye on them and see how long it takes them to go all the way to the top and hang from the lid so they can turn into what? If you said mariposa, you were right. One of them just kind of fell down a little bit. So we're going to keep our eyes open on that, and in about a week or 10 days, they will be attached to the lid of the container and we'll be good to go. So B is going to show us what our art project is for the day.
Well, that is very exciting. Alrighty. Hi everyone. It's nice to see you again. This might be too low, but I'll just tilt this. All right, so as Martha said, it is spring. I hope that when you looked out at the weather, it looked spring-like. So we are going to start getting ready for spring and start thinking about spring. So, sorry, we're just trying to do this so that you can see what we're doing. So we're going to work on making a flower today. So over the weekend, we had asked your families that if you had a toilet paper roll or a paper towel roll or something to save it, because we're going to start by using toilet paper rolls to make our flowers. So we want to make them a little fancy because right now they're not that fancy. It looks like it's a toilet paper roll, so I think we can make it fancy. So there are a lot of ways that you can do this. So you might have, let me just tilt this up a little bit, sorry. Okay, so I do know that many of you might still have your watercolors that were sent that you got from Cherry, or maybe you had some from home. So if you wanted to try to make your toilet paper roll or your paper towel roll fancy, you could paint it. You could paint it with your watercolors. So I'll use red. You can mix colors, and you can paint right on it. Right on it. Okay, and you can use all sorts of colors. You can use one color. It's up to you. Depends on how fancy you want to make it, right? So that's one way. If you don't want to paint today, another way that you make your toilet paper roll or your paper towel roll is by just coloring on it. You know, you can use, again, you've got markers, you have crayons, and you can color right on it. Color, 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 and fill it up as much as you can with that. Maybe you don't feel like coloring today. What about stickers? Stickers always help make things fancy. So if you don't want to use paint and you don't want to use markers, you can always use stickers and try to make your roll fancy with stickers. Some of you might feel like you can decorate this and make it fancy by using everything. You can paint, you can use markers, you can use your stickers. It's whatever you like. My last idea, also, if you I'm giving you a lot of choices, but will be the good thing is that you get to choose it because you get to make the flower that we're going to be making to look just like how you want it. So maybe you want to use tissue paper. So I cut up this tissue paper I used my fingers and I tore it up, and I used a glue stick. You can use a glue stick and just, again, put glue right on the toilet paper roll and just put the tissue paper right over the glue. Just like that. So there's lots of different ways you can do this. So the way I chose to do it, the way I wanted to make my flower is that I used tissue paper. I hadn't used tissue paper in a while, so that's what I did. So once you decide to kind of make your toilet paper roll kind of fancy, whatever you are. You're going to need scissors, and this is where maybe the adult in your house can help you. And we're going to cut our roll. I'm going to kind of squish it a little bit, but I'm going to use scissors, and I'm going to cut pieces. And I'm going to use, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe, and cut 5 different pieces. You can do 6, it just depends. And the scissors that you have at home that are kid scissors work fine. If the adult is helping you and they use bigger scissors, that's okay too, because you can see when you kind of squish down on the roll, it's easy to cut through it. It's like kind of cutting through paper. Okay. All right. So now I've got these little rings. Okay. These little rings. So what you're going to do is that you're going to use glue again. If you hadn't used it, you're going to need glue. And we're going to put these little pieces together in like a circle, okay? So they're all going to meet kind of in the middle here. You're going to need a lot of glue. You have your glue sticks. If you have glue at home, regular glue, you can use that too. But we're going to use that to... I'm using a glue stick because, again, I do know that you have some of that, unless you've used it all up. But it might need a little bit of extra glue, you know. So I'm going to try very hard to see if these pieces will stick. And the way I am setting them, and this is, I don't know if you can tell, is so that all the pieces meet in the middle. I'm going to use 5 of these little pieces. So they all kind of meet in the middle. And again, you can use as many as you want that meet in the middle. So there's an example right there. You can kind of see, right? So what else does a flower need? We need a stem. So again, you can use your marker to draw a stem. I actually have a craft stick. And if you'd like, again, same thing. You can paint your craft stick if you want. You can color it. I'm just going to leave mine plain for now, but you can see, then you can add that to your little flower. And then if you have an extra piece of the toilet paper roll, you can add some leaves maybe. Or you can draw them, whatever way you want to make it. So this is an example of how I made mine. But as we have said, when you create yours, and if there's an adult in the house that can help you and you want to show everybody how you made it, send us a picture. We'd love to see it because we've been able to share these pictures in an email. So, so I think that would be a nice thing to do. So I'm kind of holding this with my finger because the glue hasn't done its job yet of drying. So that is what we would call our recycle or, you know, flower. So, all right. I'm going to put some of these things away aside, and we got to get ready for the mystery bag. So, dun, dun, dun. Let me just grab these things here out of my way. La-ta-ta-tee, la-ta-ta-ta. La-ta-ta-tee, la-ta-ta. All right, so here's our mystery bag. Is it in here? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right, niños y niñas, let's ask some questions. ¿Es grande o pequeño? Pequeño, mediano. Escucha, duro, suave. Duro. ¿Qué hay en la bolsa de misterio? Es un bloque, es un león. ¿Qué hay en la bolsa de misterio? Es una sorpresa, sí, señor. All right, clue número 1. Pam, pam. So the way we're going to do this is that I'm going to give you the 3 clues. And we're not going to guess between clues like we do normally when we're here in the purple room together, because I think it's hard to play this game when you're not in the room. So what I'm going to do instead is that I'm going to give you the 3 clues, and I'm going to give you some time to think about it, and then we'll show you what it is, what's inside the mystery bag. So clue numero 1 is that it's a tool. This This is a tool. Clue número dos. It's something that you use outside. And clue número tres. It's something that helps you dig holes. So it's a tool. You use it outside. And it's something that helps you dig holes. In a few seconds, I think a lot of you are thinking. I'm going to open up the bag. And if you guessed a shovel, you are right. We have our little shovel. And this is something that we use in our sensory table when we would play. So that is our mystery bag. So then the next thing would be, I think it's time for a story.
It is.
Okay, so Martha has a story about a tiny seed about flowers, right? Okay.
And as I was sitting across the room watching Bee do the art project, I looked on the bench and I realized I forgot to say hi to each and every one of you.
Oh.
Can you believe I made that mistake? I've done this how many times, and today I forgot to greet you guys. Wow. Even teachers make mistakes. So I'm going to call you over to the rug, in our pretend rug, by singing the song, and then you can hear the story. Oh, Sofia está aquí, y Nathan está aquí. Qué alegría que Chase está aquí, y Anya está aquí, y Sofía está aquí. Qué alegría que Lucy está aquí, y Zachary está aquí, y Jeremy está aquí. Qué alegría que Zachary está aquí, y Benji está aquí, y Thomas está aquí. Qué alegría que Stella está aquí, y Eben está aquí, y Luca está aquí. Qué alegría que Camille está aquí, y Martha está aquí, y Bee está aquí. Qué alegría que Raina está aquí. I'm so glad you're all here. I had to make sure. So I have a story about, it's called The Little Seed, The Tiny Seed, excuse me. And it is in a book of stories by Eric Carle. And this is called The Tiny Seed. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others, and where are they all going? You see them up there? Let's see where they're going to go. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. So this one didn't. It got too close to the sun. But the others are still flying along. And there's the tiny one, right there. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. So there's the tiny one, and the others are going pretty fast. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. Too much water. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. So you can see the tiny seed is there, and the others are way up here. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. So it's all the way down there. But they're still going. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. It's hiding. It's kind of hiding in the grass right there. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still and the mouse does not see it. There he is. I think the tiny seed is right there. It must be very tiny. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It's really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full that they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore, they are plants. First they send roots down into the earth, then the little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants. And that little plant dies. It didn't make it. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. So not all the seeds can survive and they don't make it, but some do. Let's see what's next. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime. One child doesn't see the plants and he runs along and he breaks one. Now he cannot grow anymore. He stepped on it. That happens. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to his friend. That's a beautiful flower. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It's a giant flower. Look at how big that is. It's bigger than the house. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. That's pretty cool. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground.
Oh, looks like it's still going.
Oh, good.
Oops, sorry guys.
We thought we were having technical difficulties, but guess what? We're learning too. Good thing we can laugh at ourselves, Bee. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. And that is the end of the story about the tiny seed, and it's starting all over again with more seeds flying through the air, and some will land in the dirt and some will grow into flowers. So that's from Eric Carle. All right.
So are we? Do you want to do what's missing since you're there already, or do you want me to?
You want to do it, and then
Sure.
we
And
can
then
do
I
a song.
Finish up with our thing. So we thought it was kind of fun to play What's Missing. So we thought we'd bring that game back again. So I have on my tray, I have a hole puncher, a roll of tape, a sticker, a cup, and a toothbrush. All right, so let's take a look at these again. Okay, so a toothbrush, a cup, a sticker, tape, a hole punch. All right, and this time I'm going to cover my tray up with a towel. I hope it's big enough here. And remove an item, keep it hidden, and take my towel. And I want you to see what is missing. And if you guess sticker, you're right, or smiley face sticker. Alrighty. Look at the items again. I'm going to cover them up with a towel. Move one of them away. Make sure there's no peeking. Let's see if you can tell what is missing. If you guess toothbrush, you're absolutely right. Ta-da! All right, let's try another one. Cover this up. Move one of the items. This one's kind of tricky to move. There we go. All right. If you guessed tape, there it is. It was missing. All right, I'm going to move the order around. I think this is getting a little easy. I think you guys are getting kind of used to seeing things a certain way. So let's move the order around a little bit there. All right, still the same thing. Let me take a look. I'm going to cover it up and see if you can guess what is missing. All right, if you guessed el vaso, the cup, you're absolutely right. All right, I think it's time for the challenge round. Let's see if you can tell what is missing. La-ta-ta-ta, la-ta-ta-tee, la-ta-ta, la-ta-ta-tee. Let's see, I'm going to hide my pieces. Okay. Move my towel. Let's see if you can tell what is missing. So if you guessed sticker, you're right. The sticker is missing. But is that it? Is that the only one? Well, hopefully you noticed that the hole punch was missing too. So there we go. So that was our last little activity for today. Again, that's a pretty easy game to play at home. Lots of fun things to hide there for sure, and fun to try to stump your family with it. So Before we go, with our caterpillars coming, it kind of reminded me of a song that we sang a few weeks back about la oruga. So let's get oruga. ¿Se acuerdan? Oruga es caterpillar. So let's get our orugas. Here we go. La oruga pequeñita, gatio, gatio, gatio. Comió una hoja, it ate a leaf, y se escondió. Salió el sol y se abrió. Y la mariposa linda voló, voló, voló. So I look forward to for us to see what happens with our caterpillars too. All right, niños y niñas, until the next time. Adiós, amigos. Adiós, amigos. Adiós, amigos. Nos vemos muy, muy pronto. See you later.